Hey now. This is Tiffany with Healthy Passions, and it is time for my TikTok Thursday video. I wanted to get into the message a little bit from kind of stemming off of what I talked about yesterday on YouTube. I wanted to talk about Elijah a little bit. I went ahead, like I stated last night, and went through all of the section of First Kings chapter 17, 18, and 19, and then Second Kings chapter 1 and 2. And that gives you kind of the bit with Elijah. Now, there's twofold messages on that. The general message was the Most High wanted us to walk in boldness and choose ye this day who we shall serve and do it boldly. He wants us to speak boldly. He wants us to do our works boldly when we're doing work for the kingdom, which is Elijah is a great example of that. He was very powerful, and the way that he came across and the demonstration, he was a living demonstration of how we should operate when we are dealing with the kingdom of darkness. It was a great review. However, a personal side of that for me, I kind of want to put out there. I never really discussed this. When I was little, I had the gift of hearing and seeing. I've had that since I was born, and I'm also an oracle. I never really talk about it. My kids kind of make fun of me because sometimes I sleep with the night light because of the things that I used to see in the dark when I was little. So I'm not scared of the dark, but I like to see what's going on. But sometimes I sleep with that on. I don't like pitch blackness. The reason being for that was when I was little, I used to see this demonic entity that would stand at the edge of my bed almost every night. This thing was huge. It was probably about, I would say, 7, 8 feet tall, and it looked like it had the head of a bull and just this big, muscular, disgusting body. Right? It looked like it had been burned, and I could still see areas where it was red, had red eyes. It was terrifying, right? Something that a little kid would be scared of. I would cover my head and sleep at night, like just cover my head and hope that it went away. Pray to God, like, oh, protect me. But from what I remember, the demon never attacked me. It never could touch me, but it would sit there and stare at me with such hatred. Like it totally despised me. But I thank God now because I realized, yeah, he was there, but um I'm not discounting the fact that he was there, but my my God protected me while I was little. It couldn't touch me, and because it couldn't touch me, it would just be foaming in like anger, right? But the Most High is in control, right? So it was many instances like that I've went through. I've seen demons in people. I've seen demons outside of people. I've seen angels. I've seen all kinds of things. I can see the spirit world. Now, with that being said, I thought it was interesting that he brought me to Elijah because here recently this week I asked him about the generational curses that I have been through, and it took me 40 years to break every single curse, which was fine because it was a lot of curses to break. My family was really deep into their generational curses, and not only did I break them for me, I broke them for my children. My children had didn't have to go through anything that I went through. I basically was able to go through the curses for us. And he calls us now a new generation. He calls me and my sons, my two boys, he calls us a first generation. And I kind of understood what he meant, but then I didn't. So what he meant, and he made it clear when he brought Elijah up, what he means by first generation, we are the first generation that have broken the curse and we get to live into the blessings that he promised his children. So that is a huge accomplishment and I'm very excited. And my boys, they really praise me for it, and they're so thankful that I was so strong in raising them by myself and making them just extraordinary young men. And I'm not just saying that because I'm their mother. And the reason why I can say that they're extraordinary is because of the people consider that they're extraordinary good kids. So it's not just their mommy saying, oh, they're great. No, they are really good kids. And I remember making that promise to the Most High because I was pretty young when I got pregnant with my oldest and my youngest, and I was in my early 20s, and I promised the Lord at that time, I said, I have no idea how to take care of these kids or what to do, but if you help me raise them right, I will give them back to you when they turn 18. And the Lord really, really kept his promise to us. We didn't always have a lot. Sometimes we did get, sometimes we didn't. But we never went without a meal. We never were just homeless, or we never had like too much strenuous. It was hard, but the Lord really provided for us during that time. And when my oldest turned 18, he's 21 now, but when he turned 18, I gave him back. And the Lord was working with him probably 2 years prior to that, giving him his vision of what his life is about, what he's going to do, and all that. And he's just full throttle into that. Whatever the Lord tells them to do, he does. And now my youngest is 17. He'll be 18 at the end of the year. And the Lord's already, hey mama, the Lord's telling me to do this, do that, and I said I'm gonna give them back. I just support them in whatever it is they need support in, and whatever the Lord's telling you to do. I don't tell them, hey, go in this direction. I let the Lord tell them, and then they tell me, and I ask them, how can I help? And that's just the nature of our relationship, and it works out really well. But that was kind of off subject, but not really. So what I'm saying is, the reason why he brought Elijah was because in that chapters it talks about that demon called Baal or something like that. I'm going to spell it because I don't think I'm saying it right. It's Baal, and I come across this demonic name many times. I've studied it over and over again, to where in my studies that name came up. I did not realize that the Most High told me that there were two demons assigned to me at birth from the gates of hell, and those were the ones that were over my generational curses. And finally, it clicked when I was looking at the story of Elijah. The main demon is that demon, Baal, or however you say it, Baal or Baal, people say it different. And under him is Jezebel, because like I said, the Dark Kingdom is very organized. So you have, like, let's say he's like the lieutenant, and then Jezebel would be under him, who's also a very high level demon. Not fun to work with. They are terrible. Just the blues, okay? But everything that came against me during my 40-year training in my spiritual gifts, I noticed were associated with these two demons. And I was like, so are those the ones? And he said, yes, those are the ones. So when I read that story, it kind of put things together. And I was like, wow, I'm dealing with the same demon Elijah was dealing with. Elijah was very powerful. He really was. But the way he made a fool of that demon and the way he did that really inspired me. And I was just so excited. I'm actually going to read it again. And I was so inspired by Elijah. Elijah was an amazing prophet. Many amazing prophets, but just the way he did things, it just really gives me a chance to see how the Most High wants us to deal with these deities. So if you haven't looked at the book of Elijah, go ahead and look at it. And I'm probably going to watch my favorite movie, which I decided against last night, the Book of Eli, and kind of go with it just to finish this up. But I just wanted to kind of inspire you and let you know that, hey, we have authority, and the Most High wants us to start using it and do it boldly, plainly, and in sight, and do not be ashamed. Do it. So that's just my encouragement. Be strong like Elijah. Be confident like Elijah. Be intelligent like Elijah. And do your thing. I love you guys. Take care.